Right, Chukwudi Okoli, my man.
How you doing?
It's here now. Good morning and good to see you. It's the honor of my life to introduce you this morning. I grow
suspicious. This is too buoyant. Hello, Claire. Who was welcoming us to the program? You see, I know I have this magnetic influence. I was coming, you think you're starting afresh. It's okay, my dear. The Claire. I don't give you one this morning. Good to see you guys, as usual.
The body is willing, the mouth is not.
It happens. We have a job that must be done. I pray people recognize what journalists do. Doctors, nurses, journalists, and the army. We are in a class of our own.
All right, let's get going, and we'll begin with the blueprint. And the lead story here reads, U.S. genocide claim. Religious extremists plotting to divide Nigeria. That's credited to the federal government. 3 riders, China counters Trump's military move. ADC says America's plan will harm our democracy. And its wake-up call to end terrorism, SMBLF. Okay, and then just below that story, you see the picture story of President Bola Tinubu with Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama, during his visit to the presidential villa on Tuesday. That's just yesterday. Below that, Anambra Guba, INEC hires 2,233 buses, 83 boats for officials, sensitive materials. Accredits 114 Observer Group's 76 media houses. Okay. And away from that, just below the nameplate, in business, I don't know why that's listed under business though, Federal High Court to Kano, open your defense today, or to find out or what, you go to page 13. And investors overlook Trump's threats, bet heavily on Nigerian bonds. It's on page 18. In sports, playoffs, Gabon coach names squad for Super Eagles clash on Thursday. And that's on page 32, above the nameplate. Proceed with your scheduled national convention, court tells PDP. And that story is on page 6. A lot of other stories here, but I think we leave it here with the blueprint so that we head to the Vanguard, which leads with Trump, why we reject U.S. threat on Nigeria, and that's according to China. U.S. lawmakers blast Trump, says threatening military action against Nigeria irresponsible, reckless. Religious extremists plotting to divide Nigeria, FG raises alarm. Insists no genocide against Christians. Senate to discuss Trump's comments with executive arm. Right, and the bold one just below that, genocide claim divisive, dangerous for region's cohesion, is according to ECOWAS, and it's on page 27. Above the nameplate, top banks record 4.1 trillion naira profit in 9 months. That's on page 19. Alleged terrorism, I have no case to answer, let me go. That's according to Kano on page 11. And strike, we've met ASU's demands. That's federal government speaking on page 8. And court clears PDP to hold national convention in Ibadan. Party petitions IGP over alleged violent takeover of secretariat. That's on page 9. Of course, the same picture story as seen on the blueprint is also here in the Vanguard. Budget deficit, Tinubu seeks fresh 1.15 trillion naira domestic loan as debt hits 152 trillion naira. You get details of that on page 20. Obaseki Capet Ukpewolo denies 600 billion naira debt, others. And troops kill Boko Haram terrorists during attack on military base in Borno is on page 13. And finally, from this end, DSS dismisses 115 personnel. It's on page 6, Claire.
Chooks the boy, there are quite a number of stories, but I'd like you to start to look at, I have 3 that I would like you to quickly, speak to. The first one, of course, will be how the Nation casts the headline, Senate orders probe of Buhari administration's railway projects. Just to give you a bit of insight, the senator representing Delta Central, I think is Senator...
Delta Central, that's...
Dafinone. Ede Dafinone. We're told he moved a motion, seeking investigation because of the what he termed persistent vandalism and breakdowns, derailments of the railway, mechanics under Buhari's tenure.
Yes.
But I'm just, why make it possessive?
Possessive in what sense, please?
Buhari's railway project.
No, the buck stops at the president's table. Yeah. Can't hear Trump. In Nigeria, we also do Tinubu. What the local government chairman would do for you, Tinubu na go do. What the state governor should do for so there's that a tendency. But I still think as a journalist you have a point. Why personalize it? But then, as I said, the buck stops at the president's table.
But are you talking about the couching of it or the actual motion?
We'll go from couching to actual.
Yes, I would have thought that, the railway project is not a Buhari's thing. Railway project under Buhari's administration.
Claire is okay.
Yes.
It's okay. We are journalists.
So she's talking the couching
We are journalists. We have cast a lot of headlines. The truth is that when we do our work, factuality, fairness, accuracy, objectivity, and balance may not be at their best in terms of how they work because we are also human. Somebody that couched that may be somebody who thought that during Buhari's time, may God bless his soul, supervision was not strict enough. There are some people who tell you Buhari, up until when he died, was a good man. But that they would have loved more supervision of the people who worked under him. And they will tell you, imagine what would happen if a kind of investigation is opened into that administration. I say, why you say that? I still say Buhari was a good man. But they have a point too. Look at, Tinubu has already changed ministers within just 2 years. That shows you a proactive attitude towards making sure that those working under you are doing their job. Don't be surprised that before 2027, something could happen again. You understand? So it's about accountability. That's the bottom line. Forget whatever emotions may have led an editor to couch it that way.
Yeah,
it's about accountability.
Fine. The derailment and, vandalism and all that, is it something that calls for, one would think that they're accident. And then the derailment of vandalism is not something that you will attribute to an administration. It is something that people identify.
I think we should go beyond
let's not go.
Let's not stay. If you want
let's
to
not stay.
We are not talking about casting now. I'm talking about the reason for calling.
Yes.
We finished with the casting of
the point is, let's not make it a Buhari thing.
Exactly.
Let's talk generally. The truth is that if you investigate many things that happen in this country, even as the president is making sure that he doesn't have dead woods, working for him, he's diligent about who represents him because he's known for picking not just talent, but people he must put their feet to the fire to make sure that they're working. Even under him, there are still people, if you look at them, you're going to say you could have done your job better. So let us see it from the point of view of making sure that the green, white, green keeps on fluttering abundantly, happily, boyously there in the air. It is to Nigeria's benefit. Let's not begin to impute, see ulterior motives and all that. The truth is that, okay, how many derailments have we talked about now? How many rail lines does Nigeria have, come to think of it? Just the few rail lines we have. Okay, so London, that you do the tube, you do surface, you do everything, they should be having derailments every time too. Do you understand?
Exactly what I was.
So
yes.
there is also you could call it a critical curiosity of the journalist. We would always tell you that the cup is half empty of water. Even though another person will be right to tell you it's half full. But we choose to tell you you've done well, but that's the way we are.
Okay, let's move again to to look at the second story I quickly want you to speak on. Ibadan Court, OK's PDP's planned convention. Damagun petitions INEC, IG over Ayahu suspension, invasion of secretary. I mean, you saw the drama that played out yesterday.
We are apolitical as journalists, but what has been happening to the PDP has become so interesting to me. Fine, I'm happy for them that the court says they can hold their convention and all that. Is it 8th November? Yes. But people like me will tell you, what is the strength that convention is going to have, given the kind of things the PDP has done to itself? Please, we are not taking sides. We don't ever take sides. But when you see, it was a Feduku, one of the assistants then to Ovie Omoagege. He told me when I was presenting a current affairs program on a station called MBI in those days. That was where Ganifa Ohimi accused me of being one of the people looting the national treasury because we went on a media tour. He told me that the PDP had arrived at the point of the dinosaur scenario. He said the dinosaur got too big for its environment and therefore had to die. God forbid that the PDP would die. I want plurality. I don't want a situation where we begin to move towards a one-party thing. But maybe, looking back, Efeduku had a point. He said it became a behemoth. At a point, it wouldn't be able to rein itself in anymore. That was more than 19 years ago, what I'm talking about.
Shouldn't we be more worried about court wars? Shouldn't we be more worried about how easy it is to go here and get for,
conflicting
and
judgments,
go here and get against, and this goes on for years?
Okay,
Shouldn't we be more worried about that?
I'm not your learned friend. Neither are you my learned. Neither are you my learned friend. They will tell us we're incompetent to say that.
We are not learned because we don't know
so that
what is morality.
Hit the Okwetimo, whatever he called Femi Falana, his learned friend, and they'll put a panel, and Femi Falana tell him, "My dear, you're not my learned friend. You're not a lawyer."
Well, you don't have to be a learned.
So let's not.
You don't have to be a learned friend to know when a court of competent jurisdiction had said stay put.
Yes.
Then another court of the same jurisdiction in another state is saying you can go ahead.
It says a lot about our judiciary.
Let
me thank you.
Let them puzzle it out among themselves.
Allow me to thank you.
The Tell magazine, or was it the news in those days after there was mass failure at law school, said wig on empty heads. I reported what other people said. So I can't talk competently about them, but journalists can take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
For your time. I've been asked to thank you a long time ago, but I'm doing it now. Thank you.
You heard Chukwudi. It's his comments, not ours.
We'll see you again tomorrow.